Dubai wakes up in golden morning light, but before your coffee even cools down, your bank balance already controls your entire mood. An AED 18,000 salary sounds rich to the outside world, but inside Dubai, that money disappears faster than people imagine. Behind the luxury towers, expensive cars, and perfect Instagram lifestyles, thousands of UAE professionals are secretly living paycheck to paycheck every month. 10 years ago, this income could build comfort, savings, and freedom, but today inflation changed the entire meaning of middle-class life. Rent became the biggest financial pressure in the UAE, and every apartment renewal feels like another expensive battle against survival. Even a simple grocery trip feels stressful now because prices keep climbing while salaries struggle to keep up with modern living. Summer electricity bills in the UAE became brutal because air conditioning is no longer comfort. It is something people physically need daily. So the real question becomes simple: what kind of life does an average professional salary actually buy inside modern Dubai today? An AED 18,000 monthly income looks powerful on paper, but the real numbers underneath tell a much darker financial reality. This is not fake luxury influencer math. This is the honest breakdown of where your money truly disappears every single month. What once felt like a stable middle-class income now often feels like financial pressure hiding behind luxury apartments and expensive skylines. Everything begins with the paycheck because the moment your salary enters the account, the countdown toward monthly expenses immediately starts again. At first, the salary feels comforting and secure, but then the rent, bills, groceries, and debt payments begin arriving one after another. The UAE gives residents tax-free income, but the financial pressure simply moves somewhere else, especially into housing and lifestyle expenses. After the major expenses leave your account, the remaining money suddenly feels shockingly small compared to how hard you worked earning it. Once you calculate your weekly spending, every coffee, delivery order, and small purchase starts carrying real financial consequences for your future. Salary day feels exciting for a few short hours, but reality quickly returns once all the monthly obligations begin demanding attention again. Even small financial relief from policy changes rarely transforms real life because the largest expenses continue rising faster than income growth. Tiny improvements still matter over time, but they cannot fully protect middle-class professionals from the rising cost of modern UAE living. Eventually, the bigger picture becomes impossible to ignore because surviving comfortably in Dubai now requires strategy, discipline, and constant financial awareness. Across Dubai, Abu Dhabi, and Sharjah, rent prices climbed so aggressively that housing now consumes the largest part of most salaries. For many UAE residents, rent is no longer just another bill. It became the single biggest obstacle to building financial stability. Apartment prices across major UAE cities reached record highs, especially in Dubai communities where demand continues exploding every single month. Almost every major area experienced price increases, from downtown Dubai and Marina to JVC, Business Bay, and Abu Dhabi waterfront districts. In central Dubai, many one-bedroom apartments now cost more than AED 90,000 yearly, forcing residents into painful financial compromises. Even areas once considered affordable now feel expensive because rental demand keeps spreading further across the entire UAE housing market. Sharjah still offers cheaper living compared to Dubai, but longer daily commutes quietly steal both time and personal energy every week. Abu Dhabi provides slightly more space for similar prices, yet rising demand there is slowly pushing costs higher every renewal cycle. Communities that once attracted middle-income professionals are now becoming increasingly difficult for average earners trying to maintain financial breathing room. Even smaller apartments now require larger deposits, agency fees, moving costs, and advance payments that drain savings almost instantly after relocation. Finding affordable housing under budget often means sacrificing location, comfort, apartment quality, or spending hours commuting across crowded highways every day. Many professionals move farther outside city centers simply because central Dubai living has become financially impossible on average professional salaries today. Others reduce costs by sharing apartments with roommates, even while working professional jobs that should normally provide independent, comfortable living conditions. Some residents eventually leave Dubai entirely because the pressure of maintaining city life becomes emotionally exhausting despite earning respectable professional salaries. Paying AED 7,000 monthly rent equals roughly AED 84,000 yearly, and suddenly the math starts feeling brutally uncomfortable. That single housing expense alone can consume nearly half your annual income before groceries, transport, healthcare, or personal emergencies even appear. And once rent removes that massive portion of income, the remaining money must somehow carry every other part of your life. After housing, utility bills become the next financial pressure, quietly draining UAE salaries every single month without people fully realizing it. Electricity, water, cooling charges, internet, and mobile plans slowly stack together until basic survival costs become shockingly difficult to ignore anymore. During peak summer months, air conditioning runs constantly across the UAE, turning ordinary electricity bills into serious financial stress for households. During summer, many UAE apartments easily generate electricity bills above AED 1000 because cooling systems never truly stop running. Water, cooling fees, and internet subscriptions quietly increase every month until basic household expenses become another heavy financial burden altogether. Phone plans, streaming subscriptions, delivery apps, and hidden banking charges slowly drain hundreds of dirhams without most people noticing immediately. When you combine utilities, internet, mobile plans, and cooling charges, monthly household costs rise far beyond what residents originally expected. Over 1 year, these everyday utility expenses quietly consume thousands of dirhams that could have been invested or saved instead. Then comes groceries, one of the fastest rising financial pressures affecting nearly every middle-class family currently living inside the UAE today. Food inflation changed shopping habits completely, because residents now compare prices carefully instead of buying freely without checking totals anymore. A normal supermarket visit inside Dubai or Abu Dhabi can now feel emotionally exhausting once the final total appears at checkout. Recent UAE grocery data shows monthly food spending increased dramatically, especially for residents regularly shopping in premium supermarket chains today. Many professionals now spend between AED 1,500 and AED 2,000 monthly just maintaining basic grocery supplies consistently. Careful shoppers using discounts and budget supermarkets still manage lower spending, but even disciplined grocery budgeting became much harder recently. A single person cooking mostly at home can still spend over AED 300 weekly without buying luxury products or extras. The moment restaurant meals, coffee runs, food delivery apps, or casual dining enter the picture, spending rises extremely fast afterward. This is where the real food budget reveals itself, because convenience quietly becomes one of the biggest financial traps in Dubai. Many UAE residents underestimate how much delivery culture affects their finances until they finally calculate their yearly food spending honestly themselves. Spending 80-50 daily on food feels harmless temporarily, but over 1 year that becomes more than 18,000 total. Now the numbers finally begin exposing the uncomfortable truth hidden behind the appearance of a comfortable middle-class professional lifestyle in Dubai. Rent, utilities, internet, groceries, transport, and daily expenses combine together faster than most residents emotionally realize during ordinary monthly routines. Suddenly your salary no longer feels large because essential survival costs already consumed most of your income before savings even started. And once the calculations become visible on paper, the financial pressure facing average UAE professionals becomes impossible to emotionally ignore anymore.